Hi everyone, my name is Becca and welcome to my channel. If this is the first time you're here, I am so glad that you stopped by. We focus on all things middle grade literature, specifically the first chapters of your favorite middle grade novels. Today we're going to be reading the first chapter of Drums, Girls, and Dangerous Pie by Jordan Sonnenblick. I'm really excited to share this first chapter with you, and we are just going to go ahead and dive right on in. I'm going to start by reading you the front cover, the inside front cover, which gives us a little bit of an idea what this novel is going to be all about. 13-year-old Stephen has a totally normal life. Well, almost. He plays drums in the all-star jazz band, has a crush on the hottest girl in school, who doesn't know he's alive, frequently finds himself sitting across from his school counselor, who bribes him with candy, and is constantly annoyed by his 5-year-old brother Jeffrey, who is cuter than cute. Oh, Stephen has parents too, the kind that embarrass him. But when Jeffrey gets sick, Stephen's world is turned upside down as he is forced to deal with his brother's illness, his parents' attempts to keep the family in one piece, the band, overdue homework, girls, and of course, Dangerous Pie. Yes, you have to read the book to find out what that is. In a debut that has won raves, Jordan Sonnenblick digs deep into the hearts of a family in crisis with humor, hope, and impressive sensitivity. All right, I'm curious to see how Stephen's story unfolds. We're going to go ahead and dive right on into that first chapter, which is titled, fittingly, Dangerous Pie. There's a beautiful girl to my left, another to my right. Hundreds of colored balloons are tethered down behind me, baking in the June sun. I'm wearing a brown gown that's sticking to my sweat-drenched skin, trying to keep my head straight so that my weird square cap doesn't fall off in front of the 1,000 people who are watching me. And of course, because I'm me, I'm spacing out. The questions are just tumbling through my mind. How did I get here? What have I learned since September? How could my life have possibly changed so much in only 10 months? I'm not even sure I understand the questions, much less where to begin looking for answers. I guess a good starting point would be the longest journal I've ever written in English class. This was back in September, when I was pretty sure about life. The topic was the most annoying thing in the world, and we were supposed to write the usual one-page response to it. I sat there for a few minutes, staring at the back of Renee Albert, who's the hottest girl in 8th grade, trying to concentrate. Unfortunately, all I could concentrate on was Renee Albert. Did I mention she's the hottest girl in the 8th grade? Miss Palma is always going on and on about brainstorming and lists and pre-writing, so I started a list of truly annoying things. Journal assignments, dull pencils, the pencil sharpener smell, Miss Palma's perfume. Why doesn't Renee Albert ever look at me? Hot girls who never look at skinny geeks. Being a skinny geek. Being a skinny geek named Stephen. Just then I realized that Miss Palma was standing behind me, reading over my shoulder. I guess that's why I was being asphyxiated by her perfume. Thinking fast, I covered up my list, turned to her and asked, Miss Palma, can the journal be longer than a page? Sure, Stephen, why? What are you thinking about creating here? Creating here. She actually said that. Don't English teachers just slay you? My mom is actually an English teacher, but that doesn't mean I don't find my own English teachers a bit odd. Well, I'm having trouble crafting my prose. Yeah, crafting my prose. Two can play this game. What's your topic? Remember what I always say, FFF. Stands for form follows function, don't you know? I want to write about a big topic, and it's not exactly a thing. It's, and then it hit me. The most annoying thing in my world is my little brother, Jeffrey. Wow, that's an ambitious topic. Go ahead. If you need extra time, feel free to take the project home tonight as well. Thanks, Miss Palma. A lot. Anyway, here's what I wrote. Having a brother is horrible. Having any brother would be horrible, I suppose, but having my particular brother Jeffrey is an unrelenting nightmare. It's not because he's 8 years younger than I am, although that's part of it. How would you like to be king of the planet for 8 glorious years and then suddenly get demoted to vice king? It's not because he's cuter than I am, although that's part of it too. I have mouse brown cowlicky hair, glasses that are about an inch thick, and braces that look like I tried to swallow a train wreck. He has those perfect little kid chiclet white teeth, 20/20 vision, and little blonde ringlets like the one on the angels you see on the posters in art class. It's not even because he hates me. He doesn't. The truth is that he idolizes me. That's the problem. The kid follows me around like I'm Elvis or something. And while he's being much too cute and following me around, he also destroys all my stuff, including my self-esteem and my sanity. Take, for example, the dangerous pie incident. Jeffrey has known from an early age that the worst possible thing he can do to me is to touch my drum stuff. I have some rules about this. He may not play the drums. He may not pretend the cymbals are shields and he is a knight. He may not hide in the bass drum. And pretty much any Jeffrey to drumstick contact is a massive no-no. But on one fateful afternoon last year, Jeffrey threw the rules out the window. On that tragic day, I came home, said hi to Mom, glugged down some milk, and headed to the basement to practice. I was in a particularly good mood, I remember, because Renee Albert had told me in PM homeroom that she liked my shirt. As this was such a grand occasion, I decided to take the special sticks down from their sacred perch and use them for my practice pad warm-up. In case you didn't know this, a practice pad is a thick, dense, flat piece of rubber. Usually it's glued onto a piece of wood. You practice playing drums on it because it feels a lot like playing a real drumhead. Anyhow, the special sticks would be just an ordinary pair of my favorite sticks, Regal Tip 5As with nylon tips, except that they had been autographed by my all-time drum hero, Carter Buford of the Dave Matthews Band. I once saved up all my babysitting money for a couple of months, got 2 tickets to a drum clinic Carter Buford was giving an hour and a half away in Philadelphia, and begged my dad to take me for 2 weeks until he finally gave in. At the clinic, during what I like to think of as the 2 glorious minutes, Carter Buford himself called me up to demonstrate a double stroke roll. After I did it, he said I had nice technique and signed my sticks right there in front of a room full of drummers. So I had spent quite a bit of blood, toil, tears, and sweat in order to get those special sticks. But the special sticks weren't on their shelf. Jeffrey. I ran upstairs at top speed, hoping I would be in time, but knowing that the odds were stacked against me. I burst into the kitchen and found Jeffrey doing his cooking thing on the floor. Pots and pans were everywhere. Don't ask me how. I had somehow not noticed this on my way downstairs the first time. And Jeffrey was stirring some pretend concoction in the deepest pot of all, with my special sticks. I advanced toward him with what must have been a disturbing gleam of violence in my eye. Jeffrey, give me the sticks. But I'm just cooking. Give me the sticks. But the dangerous pie isn't ready yet. I don't care about your stupid 4-year-old make-believe food. Give me the sticks. But this is real food. And it was. Jeffrey's dangerous pie was a zesty blend of coffee grounds, raw eggs and their smashed shells, Coke, uncooked bacon, and 3 Matchbox race cars. The special sticks still smell funny. Or maybe I should tell you about the please kill me, Mom affair. This fiasco happened after my All-City High School jazz band concert last June. Getting into the All-City band is a big, big deal, especially for a drummer, because there are 6 trumpeters, 5 sax, 4 trombone, etc., but only 2 drummers. It was an even bigger deal for me last year because I was the first 7th grader ever admitted into the All-City High School band. They even had to send a special van to the middle school just to get me and this girl named Annette Watson, who was the backup piano player. She's actually really good, But there's this 12th grade guy who has been the main pianist since he was a freshman, and he is not about to get booted by the middle school girl in his senior year. She's funny, and she may be the only kid in middle school who cares about music the way I do. But she's also kind of weird. It's like she's figured out how to play Beethoven and Thelonious Monk, but hasn't quite mastered the art of being a girl yet. It's not easy being the youngest guy in the band, by the way. They make fun of me all the time about my age, my size, my braces, and the way I stick out my tongue when I play. Also, everyone in the band has a cool nickname. When I first found this out at rehearsal, the other drummer, Brian, was telling me what to call all the different people. Who's that? That's the king. Who's he? That's Duke. Who's she? The princess. What do they call you? The count. What does that make me? How about the peasant? And the name stuck. Anyway, my whole family came to the concert and it was awesome. I had this huge drum feature in this Brian Setzer song called Jump, Jive, and Wail, and I nailed the whole thing. I usually practice at least an hour a day on my practice pad and another half hour on my drum set. Plus, I play in the marching band and the jazz group in school. And we had been rehearsing twice a week for All City for a couple of months. And I used to take lessons once a week. So I was playing great that night. So after the concert, my parents and Jeffrey came to the band room. They were all excited and everything, but Jeffrey was bouncing off the ceiling. You're a rock star, Steven. No, I'm a jazz star, Jeffrey. My brother is a rock star. My brother is a rock star. Just then, Renee Albert stopped right next to us to congratulate her boyfriend. We'll just call him Biff. A sophomore guitarist with alarmingly perfect complexion and muscles like Barry Bonds. Jeffrey saw Renee and started to whirl toward her. She lives around the corner from us, and I guess not even 4-year-olds are immune to her charms and wiles. It seemed to happen in slow motion. Events were just crawling, yet still I knew I would never have time to run across town to the local zoo, steal an elephant tranquilizer gun, run back, and fire it into Jeffrey's buttocks before he could blurt out something that would mortify me and destroy my social status forever. Life snapped back into full speed, and Jeffrey shouted, "Hey, Renee, my brother is a rock star." As Biff looked on with a sneer, Renee replied, "Oh, really? I didn't know that." "Yup, he is. Do you see him?" His arms were zooming around the drums, just like when he practices at home in front of the mirror. "Steven, practices in front of a mirror?" "Yeah, it's cool. In his underwear, the blue ones, right, Steven?" I sagged against my mom's shoulder and muttered, "Please kill me, Mom." My dad tried at that point to control the situation, but now Jeffrey had drawn a little crowd of my bandmates who were just waiting to see what else he would reveal about the peasant. "My brother's great. Hey, Renee, do you want to hear a joke? What does I cup spell?" I give up. Close the bathroom door, get it? I tried to end this torment. "Come on, Jeff. It's time to go out for ice cream with Mom and Dad." Just then Brian chimed in. He had dropped a stick during In the Mood and may have been annoyed by the big applause after my solo. "Let him finish, peasant." To which Renee and my mom simultaneously turned to me and burst out, "They call you peasant?" Hey reader, are you starting to see the pattern here? Miss Palma gave me an A on the journal entry. She called it droll. So I guess I actually managed to get some use out of Jeffrey's antics before the chaos of this year started. Looking back on those days now, I'd have eaten the dangerous pie if I could have stopped October from coming. That is the end of the first chapter of Drums, Girls, and Dangerous Pie. I am very curious to see what exactly happens in October that is so rough on Steven. And I believe I vaguely remember in the synopsis that his brother gets sick. So that should be an interesting change of events and probably is going to change the way Steven feels about his brother. If you liked this First Chapter Friday Read Aloud, please consider liking and subscribing so you can be notified every time we have another First Chapter Friday Read Aloud available. And teachers, if you're reading this with your class, there are some great resources. There are links in the description below. First Chapter Friday Guide, novel studies, all those good things. And until next time, everyone, happy reading!